Hey, good morning. I'm Wendell G coming to you on this late October morning. It's so early, I'm still trying to figure out how to breathe. Thought I'd give you an impromptu tour of Helsingborg today. Had to pause to sneeze there. It's so early I haven't spoken yet, so first spoken words of the morning. I had an old guy a long time ago tell me the first spoken words of the morning were sacred, so there you go. Helsingborg. Pitching is near and dear to my heart, so let's start with pitching. And let's see, 28 players. This is still Helsingborg's spring lineup, so, I don't have the latest, the first day of the sim from the first day of regular season. Let's just get rolling here with Tanyu Papai Nakamura, probably the elite pitcher in the big leagues. Helga had to trade for Naka. Wow, look, 5 elite pitches. A fly ball tendency, 97, 99 miles an hour. He traded Buenos for Naka, and he gave Buenos a lot of, let's go back, it's going to be down let's see, February, July. This was from mid, this is from July of, I'm looking for the exact date, and I'm not seeing it. But anyway, July of 2043, so it was right before the trade deadline last year. One of the knockout trades that Helsingborg has done to get a elite guy on the team. And I think the Helsingborg management was a little bit disappointed that Naka did not help propel them through the playoffs, because he is a elite playoff starter for sure. So he gave up Luis Barajas, a good looking prospect, big dog, not elite but strong. Bahadur Atul, I think I've talked about this trade. Left fielder, young left fielder. Looks like probably an everyday starter. Catcher Ben Codden, and center fielder Didier Mouton, and there were draft picks involved as well. So Buenos was cracking open the value that Naka provided, and ended up with some good players. So anyway, Naka last year had a 2.31 ERA, 0.89 WHIP, outstanding. Only gave up 8 home runs in 15 starts at Helsingborg. And let's see, he just about split the season. He had a half a season at Buenos, half a season at Helsingborg. Looks like a 10.1 WAR player total. Tremendous ERA plus. Yeah, Naka. So there's Naka. The rest of the staff is not chopped liver either, if I can keep overusing that analogy. Hercules Ben Rafik is a longtime Helsingborger. In fact, I wonder if he was, he was a 1-2 pick by Helsingborg in 2037, and certainly has grown into that hype. 4-star rated ground ball pitcher, 93 miles an hour, lefty, and had a great year with Helsing. His best year so far with Helsingborg, a 2.78 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. Fantastic, another fantastic pitcher. Third on the staff, another recent acquisition, Sasha Nazvanov. Big fan of Star Trek there. Always walking around saying, "Beam me out to the mound, coach." Ground ball pitcher, 95 miles an hour. Just fantastic stuff. He came over from False Bay the end of last year, so this will be his first major league action up in Helga. What did Helsingborg give up for him? November 1st, 2043. Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Yeah, why is it the date? Where is the date here? Am I completely missing it? I just don't see the date of these particular trades. I see the date of the trade above and the trade below. Fix your game, Marcus. So Helsingborg sent knockout starting pitching prospect Zach Campbell, outfielder Adrian Gutierrez, and got in return, and draft picks, got in return starting pitching prospect Jerry Wilkins, who was then flipped later, Sasha Nazvanov, Hyungjin Na, and Jeffrey Eglinton, third base prospect. So Nazvanov came over in a big blockbuster north to south, kind of a trade where talent swapping hands. Another great young starting pitcher at the minimum, man. At the minimum. Jonathan Peterson is an old hand with Helsingborg. He's been around forever, it feels like. Music man. We got a couple of music mans in our WBL. Outstanding pitcher. 94 mile an hour, durable ground ball tendency. Just another great man. You just can't go wrong in the Helsingborg pitching staff. Wazir Dinosaur Abdul Alim came over in a trade with Amsterdam from a couple of years ago. Another great pitcher. 4.46 ERA last year, 1.27 WHIP. Fantastic. Man, these guys. And then finally, Na. Hyungjin Na, the other guy that came over in that trade. I might like this guy even better than Nazvanov, even though he's not as highly rated. 28 years old, still at the minimum. Man, I guess my thought is Helsingborg's going to be in a lot of pain when these guys hit ARB. But I'm sure there'll be some dealing if they can't afford them, you know. And then the bullpen. I'm not really sure what to do about the bullpen. Let's go to ratings and just cherry pick a couple of bullpenners. Fabian, Black Magic, came over from Amsterdam in a trade. He is getting up there in age, but at $3.5 million, it's a good price for an elite closer. 2 pitches, fastball and curve. You can see he's been a lifer at Amsterdam. Again, this will be his first action. Helsingborg. Jorge Martinez, a 2041 trade with Key West. Starting to see a trend now. Helsingborg has a few lifers, but most of their WBL staff has come via acquisition. Sort of underperformed last year with a 5.61 ERA and a 1.57 WHIP. 59 innings of work and 43 appearances. But young, 23, still growing into his capabilities. So he'll have a better year this year. Great setup guy, just a great bullpen guy to have. Steven Burks, man, what a fine pitching staff Helsingborg has assembled here. Longtime Helsingborg man, came over in 2040 from Amsterdam. 1.12 whip out of 63 innings last year. Fantastic. 34 years old and making $3 million. Flaherty, I don't even know how you pronounce that. Flaherty and Skittle. Fine reliever. Did not have a great year last year. He's a longtime Helsingborg man. In 2041, he pitched. He only got a little bit of time in 2041, but he pitched a 0.91 WHIP and a 1.82 ERA. He hasn't repeated those numbers since. Still, good looking reliever. 28 years old and making under $1 million. Looks like he's learned to pitch somewhere down the way. Where do we need to learn that change up? Maybe back in his early development. Oh, I guess he came into the league with that changeup. Okay. Yeah. Good long time guy. I really like to have a guy who's been in my bullpen for a long time, It helps with the helps keep the staff cohesive. Provide some consistency, or I just like the the continuance that a long timer, a lifer, provides. Trade you still has not been traded. Still a Helsingborg project. I know Orlando's been shopping this guy, and somebody pick him up. He's a good pitcher. He outpitched his doesn't look like he had that great of a year last year. He got 26 starts as part of the rotation. Went 12-12, 5.66 ERA and 1.44 WHIP. But he had some outstanding games last year. I mean, really outstanding games. 5-hit shutout against False Bay. I guess that's what I'm remembering. 3 strikeouts. Complete game, 5-hit shutout. Nice. He was, I just remember seeing his results and being really amazed by him. All right, let's move over to the batters, to the lineup. And maybe, can we figure anything out from the graphical lineup? Robert Maurice at catcher, 26 years old, making $6 million. Hit .214 last year. Trade acquisition from Dublin, where he hit .254. Came over late in the year. Still looks like, is he growing in or dropping off of his prospects, his potential here? He's still got the Dublin Uni on my screen. Interesting. It's Canadian guy. Oops, Canadian man, eh? Bill Harris, Helsingborg catcher. I guess this guy's the normal starter. Okay. 316, 380 on base percentage. He hit 24 home runs last year. This is the #1 catcher for Helsingborg, making $5 million a year. Great salary. Great salary. Good catcher. Good guy to have. 25 years old. Feels like he's, I don't know, feels like he's much older because he's been a pro for a long time. He came over in 2042, spring of 2042 from Amsterdam. Probably another big trade there. DH is Peter Leifson. Peter Leifson. Can play some first base. Great bat. 24 years old. Just got acquired from Cairo this past off season. And another big bat for Helsingborg, hitting .360. Well, how many home runs did Leifson have? 41 home runs last year at Cairo. I don't know what Cairo Stadium looks like, but wow. Jay Britton is the starting first baseman. Slightly better defense. And great bat. He came over in 2042 from from Istanbul. Hit .266 last year. You know, there's just not a weakness in this Helsingborg lineup. Jeffrey Eglinton, age 22, still growing into his batting profile. He was prospect trade last fall with False Bay. Grumbles came over from False Bay last year. Juan Padilla is listed as the backup, and he's an old Moscow guy. Traded him in the offseason before 2043, and I got a lot of pitching value and payway out of the deal, and some, got a couple of first-round picks. A deal I couldn't pass up, and man, I still love Padilla. He hit .314 with Helga last year, after hitting .290 with us in 2042. So outstanding, stellar defense. Great player, all-world player right here, Juan Padilla. Age 28, and this $8.5 million contract, that's thanks to me. I got him on that long, $8.5 million, like a 5 or 6 year contract. His style of play is endorsed by the fans. He gives all he has all the time, earning respect from all sides. Yeah, he is a league favorite. I'm trying to think of somebody in the Major League Baseball who is comparable. He's probably a Lou Gehrig type. Yeah, I would not shy from making that comparison. He is a lifetime .303 hitter, and he is a lifetime. Look at this plus WAR in the infield. Anywhere he goes in the infield, lifetime. Plus 21 WAR at second, plus 16 at third, plus 6 at shortstop. So, I wonder if he's ever pitched. Never has pitched. You should pitch him a game, Helsingborg. Let me go back. You can see he's 2035. He was in the WBL as the number 51 prospect when we got started. He had a few injuries early on, and I think that set his fragile tag for later. Yeah. Look at that. I got this guy on a salary cut. I got him to accept a salary. Can you believe that? He was making $9 million and he accepted 8.5. Wow. Wow, man. What's his personality look like? Greed, very low. Work ethic, very high. Loyalty, very high. It's just an all-world player. You don't find a player like this, man. He can even play the outfield if he needs to. Okay, John Sawyer, shortstop. I like Sawyer a ton. He brings a whole lot of flexibility. He plays a great second base. Looks like he was put at short to get a little bit of work at shortstop, and he can play it adequately now. But he plays all the outfield positions at an elite level too. So he provides a great deal of flexibility for Helsingborg. He had 272 last year, and his bat wasn't the his bat wasn't the whole story. He was a 3.5 WAR player. Just curious, what was Padilla was a 3.7 WAR player last year, including his outfield, his bat rather, his glove. Roy Lohman also getting some work in the preseason. He's not going to be. I wonder who Helga's real third baseman is. Looks like he was getting some reps, get his defense up, see what kind of bat he could provide. He hit really well last year in just very limited appearances. 333. What you need, Jim? You want to go back out? You want to go outside? Okay, I'll pause this and put Jimmy out. And we're back. Let's go hunt down. Who is Helsingborg's primary third? I think it's actually Padilla. Normally plays the third base. Sawyer, Jones. Eglinton's not listed in the lineup. How does Eglinton do? Rumbles. He was part of that trade. Looks like he's not quite ready. How old is he? 22. He may get the nod. What about Will Jones? Did we talk about Will Jones? 23. He's another prospect getting a look in spring training. So I guess the backups here are going to be. I guess Padilla is probably the starting third baseman. Okay, Eglinton's second base, and then Lohman, probably Jones, will be back and providing some backup. Okay, well that's the infield, the best I can tell. The outfield, let's just go from this list. Center field, Dennis Weber. Great center field, great outfielder. Age 25. Looks like Weber is a long-time Helsingborg player. 248 batting average last year, but a 3.7 WAR. When you see the WAR so much higher than the batting you would expect from the batting average, it's the glove happening. And of course, this guy has got great power. 36 home runs, a 105 OPS plus. So yeah, batting average, power, and glove. I guess that's the reason I like the wins above replacement stat, because of the it factors outfield in. Thomas Herrera came over from, he was a free agent signing in the preseason. Came in for under $2 million, and Lando was very happy to get him for under $2 million. Good pickup. I wasn't looking at outfielders, but I probably should have. That was a good pickup. Max Linnaeus. Looks like the utility guy. He's a prospect. Tommy Perkins. Age 25. Looks like a long time. Yeah, Helsingborg draft pick from back in 2041. Wonder when he was drafted. Second round pick, the 2-9 pick from 2041. Good utility outfielder there. Is that it? There are just 4 outfielders on the Helga roster position. Let's go to. Have we got anybody on the DL? Oh, Cotterell. That's right. Henry Cotterell. Henny, sorry. Henny Cotterell from Aruba. Enjoying the cold climate of Helsingborg. Got a little bit of a sprained elbow, a little tic-tac injury he took during spring training. Monster at the plate, hit .336 last year with 33 home runs, a 5.2 WAR player. So yeah, Cotterell is another mammoth in the lineup. Another guy on the DL, Whiffstrand, Homicide, closed down kind of a guy, shut down kind of a guy, set up reliever. He's been with Helsingborg a long time. Pitched 1.32 WHIP and 5.37 ERA last year in 58 appearances. Did not have the greatest of years, but age 32, right-hander, still brings it 95 miles an hour. And wonder, it looks like he was on the staff. Okay, no, he was a Dublin distiller and traded in 2037 in exchange for Jean Kim, who's also still in the WBL. Signed to a very inexpensive $1.1 million contract. Some of these guys signed a very inexpensive contract, you know. Okay, and do we have anybody on DFA? Oh yeah, Helsingborg just traded a prospect for Reen Pauwe's $8.5 million salary, helping Berlin with a little bit of salary relief to allow Berlin to sign some of their draft picks. Good move on both sides. Second baseman gives good flexibility in the Helsingborg roster. And yeah, he did not have the greatest of years last year at Berlin. He had .231 in 295 at-bats, but the year before, a positive WAR player, in fact a 2.4 WAR player, .264 batting average with 22 home runs in 2042. He had very, very fewer appearances in 2043, and I'm presuming that's presuming he had an injury. Yeah, he missed 6 weeks in midsummer with a strained shoulder. So, and probably struggling with getting his groove back. Two-time All-Star, three-time Glove Wizard from way back in the 2030s, back in the 30s, age 33. And he is in the final year of his contract, so yeah. Let's look at this trade, by the way. March 15th. It's a brand new trade, just a few weeks ago. Prospect Ben Majid was sent to Berlin, and they help provide depth in the Berlin system. Not exactly projected as a world beater here, but good defense. And if he grows into these ratings, well, it looks like he pretty much has. Got a little bit of power and discipline he can still grow into. He can probably help the big league defensive substitute in late innings in Berlin. So, sort of I started to say a Glenn Hubbard type, but maybe not quite the Glenn Hubbard contact, old Atlanta Brave. Yeah. In fact, that is the most recent trade in the WBL. All right, well, I've gone on for 23 minutes, and let me look, before we leave Helga, let's go look at their minor league system. Orlando, Orlando kind of called me out for avoiding. It's kind of disappointing. He didn't really call me out, but he was disappointed that I avoided Helga in sort of my impromptu tour of teams and whatever. And the reason is twofold. When I look at Helsingborg and I look at Amsterdam, I just internally just kind of give up. I'm like, there's no way I can ever be competitive with these two teams. It was quite a shock to me last year when we won the wild card Lambship playoff with Helsingborg. So it's pretty disheartening for me to these two are the Goliaths, Helsingborg and Amsterdam. I think False Bay might be in that category too now, but these guys have really built up strong programs, and it's hard for me to look at them because I know I got to compete with them, and sometimes I'd rather just not know, you know. So it's kind of like opening an email and you know it's going to bring bad news. God. Anyway, So Helsingborg's farm does not look that great on paper, and it's in part because Helsingborg has been very active in trades. They've been sending prospects. So, you know, you shouldn't bleed for Helsingborg. They've got, you know, you can last a long time. Guys have a long longevity. Once they get to the WBL, you know, an all-star is going to last for a long time. And you only ultimately need, you know, 9 position players. Let's see. 8 position players plus a DH. And you need backup. You know, you ultimately only need, out of your entire organization, you know, you can have a couple hundred guys who are crappy, 25 guys who are outstanding, you know, and or even just 15 guys who are outstanding, 10 guys who are average, and then, you know, a couple hundred who are crap. And you can have a successful program year in and year out. And of course, if you're successful, you always have the budget to go after a good free agent or two in the off season and shore up your weaknesses. So let me just. It looks like the top 10 or so prospects are all, you know, all look pretty good. Contact, power, potential. Okay, let's look at a couple of guys here. First base prospect Ethan Burgess, projected to have 65 home run power and played first base defensively very well. Good range for a first baseman. Real good range. In fact, if he had better double play capability, I would say that's pretty much all you need. An uber Pac-Man defensive profile at first base. You want a lot of range, so the first baseman can go way into foul territory or range over, you know, deep in the hole to pick up a ground ball. But you also want him to be able to make the double play. You know, flip it to second to snag the lead runner. Anyway, Burgess projects to be a really good-looking first baseman. And, yeah. Rolf von Tirpitz, what a great name. Projected to be a nice catcher. Oh, man. A fine catching prospect here. DH, DeMio, the cat's meow, Gaberi. Not much projection here, but the home run power, that home run power. I don't know why he popped up. Why did he pop up? I guess he was number 3 in home run power. Let's see. Let's go. This is all players. Let's look at pitchers. Pitcher prospects and potential ratings. Potential. Just cherry picking down through here. Let's look at Bouquet. Oh yeah, Headhunter Bouquet. Ralph Headhunter Bouquet came over in a what? He was a minor league free agent signing. Wow, that was a steal. He's a 3-time former major leaguer and came over as a minor league free agent. Nice. That was. Did you sign him to a bonus? No, just a flat minor league contract. Wow, it's a great pickup by Helga. This guy is in single A, probably should be in triple A. He basically can come up onto the staff anytime. Anytime Helsingborg needs him, he'll be on the staff. Wow. Let's see, what about Vasquez? 21-year-old Javier Vasquez. A long-time single A kind of a guy. Looks like he's pretty much grown into whatever he can do, except for that control. He wants to be pitching in the majors. Yeah. To be with a team that will take a risk on a low control rating. And Wiseman. Jesse Wiseman. Very young guy, 18. Got a lot of growth left in him. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this about 30 minutes. Anything else I can think of to talk about? Let's look real quick at Helsingborg's off-season transactions. Just real quick. We already looked at them once. Arb. Lots of trades here from Helga. So they started the offseason by sending Zach Campbell. What's his Campbell's nickname? Last Resort. By sending. Oh wow! Look at that. Last Resort. Along with Adrian Gutierrez to False Bay. Wow. Great center fielder. Man. Great center fielder. In return for Eglinton, Nazvanov, and Wilkins. I just got a text. I wonder who that's from. The fam's meeting at 12:30. I guess I need to double check that. International prospects, and then we come into February. Challen, who was traded in from Vegas. I missed that. That was. Where did Challen come in? Placed Bailey Challen on the. Oh, here it is. He sent cash to Vegas, getting Bailey Challen in return. And Orlando said that was a bit of a screw up, but he immediately flipped Challen to Key West, basically a salary move, in exchange for minor league shortstop project Anastasio Borsalino. A long shot, but basically to move the salary off the budget. Second round pick to Amsterdam for Fabian. Great trade. God. Man, if I only had more draft picks. Let's see. Don't know. Can't remember that trade. Wilkins and some draft picks for Leifson. Orlando was very active, churning his roster even more than Doe. I always thought Doe was the ultimate roster churner, but Orlando is really extremely active this year. Picked up free agent Tomas Herrera, savvy move for under $2 million. Farron went to Australia in exchange for something, draft picks. That was February. And then March, pick up a Poway, yeah. My instinct says that this pickup of Poway, or it's probably Pave, Rian Pave, will come back to help Helsingborg later this year. I don't know why I think that. I just have that feeling. So yeah, Helsingborg. I think they're going to win it all this year. There are just no weaknesses. They have been constantly building their WBL roster, and they're going to be really, really good this year. Last year was the first 100-win season in the program history, and you can see they've been on an uptick since. They haven't finished at better than 500 since 2034, and then under Orlando's guidance in 2040, he turned it around and they finished 88-74. They finished 14 games over 500, but still 27 games behind, and won 89 games in 2041, a few more games in 2042, and then 2043 they really they improved by 10 games. Still 17 games behind Amsterdam, but playoffs. Made playoffs each of the last two postseasons, and had not previously made the playoffs prior to 2034. Oh, I misspoke. They were under 500 in 2034. I think they were over. So Helsingborg's a team that has really turned it around, and they have cut payroll while and focused on the younger guys. Those payroll numbers will go up as their younger guys get older. Anyway, they have built an all-star roster on their squad, and they have done it through the old tried and true method of, you see a player you like, you give up everything you can possibly get for that player, everything you can possibly give for that player. Just go all in on one player at a time, and assemble your team basically by grabbing one player at a time. Other teams like to draft themselves into a competitive spot you know, like the teams that have a high draft pick and do poorly year after year, they like to draft their way into a top all-star roster, and you can do that, but you have to be very, very patient. And it takes a lot of time, you know, and it's hard to put up with losing. You know, we're playing a game for fun, but you wanna win some. I wonder why Helga's attendance dropped last year. I wonder why that dropped. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to go drink my coffee and check on Jimmy, see whatever it is she's barking at out there. And, well, this is for you, Orlando. Hope you enjoyed the tour through the Helga roster. I know it's not set, and I know there's things that I've forgotten. I always remember things that I've forgotten later. But right now, I can't even tell you what those things are. International Complex. We'll just look at the first guy on the list, Domingo Colon. Projects as a, a mediocre starting pitcher, but 17, 17 and a great changeup. All right, Helga. Looking forward to the season, pal, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.